Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is now January 18th of 2025, and there's been a lot of issues going on over at Netflix in light of the whole Meghan Markle drama for With Love Meghan and all the setbacks that are coming along with it. Now, for those of you that are unaware, this show was supposed to drop on the 15th of this month. It got delayed until March 4th. She's really blaming it on everything that happened in California and everything going on over there, when in reality we all know that she was demanding for a delay well before all the chaos really spread throughout that state. Now, what's interesting about this is that we know that Meghan Markle, at the same exact time, is not only a disingenuous person, but she's also very unlikable. She's viewed as very fake. She really just puts herself in the limelight as much as she can to really save her image as much as she can. And look, nobody really cares about her. Nobody wants to hear her or see her on Netflix or from any other platform out there. Now, there's been a lot of problems going on between Greg Peters, the Netflix CEO, and the board of directors. Let's get into this. This is Mike Zero. Subscribe if you're new and like this video to see future updates. You can also follow me at Mike01. I thank you also very much for the great and kind support. So, Meghan Markle lost her marbles yet again, alright? I think that this is like the upteenth time now, because she really is beginning to say some of the most outrageous things out there toward Netflix, toward everything going on with Love Meghan and this entire show that really is just universally rejected at this point. I mean, have you all seen the likes to dislikes ratio across all forms of social media? It's quite intense. Now, interestingly enough, alright, we know that Netflix is getting a lot of heat for With Love Meghan. There's a lot of people unsubscribing, there's a lot of people sending out emails. We talked about how well over 40,000 emails were sent over to Netflix about this issue. Now, with the Netflix drama only getting worse for those like the board of directors, along with the CEO Greg Peters, one major development going on now involves a recent response that came from Meghan Markle after she got the marketing team fired some time ago that handled the official With Love Meghan trailer. We talked about that, and is obtaining a new marketing team. A crucial update to this situation now involves how Meghan Markle recently got involved in a very intense argument with the Netflix board of directors, who believe that her new marketing team picks are not qualified to handle the job, since she is basing their hiring purely on diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. The board challenged Meghan Markle's decision for the new team, however, just recently accepted her decision after multiple conversations when she challenged back. What's very revealing, however, is that now Meghan Markle is calling for the editing team that handled With Love Meghan and the trailer to also get fired, since they, of course, and since she is also blaming them for using her worst takes in the show, not just for the first 2 episodes, but also for the entire series now, and claims that the editing team is not diverse enough to her liking. With season 2 already greenlit by Netflix as a contingency plan if this show succeeds, and that's a big if, she is already calling for the editors of the series to not just be fired from the planned season 2, but also from, get this, other projects associated with Netflix, something that she truly has no control over, however, is surprisingly convincing the majority of the board of directors at Netflix to consider this action, since many of the board members are in favor of Meghan and promoting DEI, and her time at Netflix, and reportedly wants to do whatever it takes to renew her contract. Now, of course, she's blaming that the editors are not diverse enough to handle With Love Meghan Season 2, and also, this is where it gets worse, she is now demanding some re-edits for With Love Meghan as a whole, some last-minute sequences that she is demanding to be put into the series. Meghan Markle even brought up a proposal of addressing the LA fires at the very beginning of the show, as before it actually even starts, as part of a minor re-edit of the series. Now, let me just say one thing before I move on about Meghan Markle, is that would make some sense as to why she dropped there, and she only spent, 17, 18 minutes at the site. We'll talk more about that in just a second. Nonetheless, whatever, exact time she was there, it wasn't long. It was nothing more than a photo op. It was nothing more than a way to just throw herself at the center of attention. That's what she always does. And to my understanding, did she go to North Carolina just a couple of months ago? I'm not quite sure about that. Did she? So, with Meghan Markle using this opportunity and using the state of California to really just kind of throw it into With Love Meghan, I think is disingenuous, and some of the board of directors, surprisingly, do feel the same exact way, but they're in the minority. We'll talk about that as well. Now, this is where it really picks up, is that with Love Meghan and with Love Meghan Season 2, like I've said before, Season 2 is used as a contingency plan. They have everything set up, everything is all pre-planned out in case if this one truly succeeds. If it doesn't, they're going to scrap that and put it into the garbage can. Now, moving onwards, this is where it gets even worse. Now, to top things off here, alright, some board members are very skeptical of doing that since they believe the majority of the critics and customers will see this as disingenuous given that Meghan Markle only visited California for 17 minutes or so. The pressure is now rising between Meghan Markle and the Netflix board to fire the editing team in replacement of a more diverse team to make some minor changes to With Love Meghan and a Season 2 if it goes through. And guys, this is the problem with DEI. This is why you're seeing now a lot of organizations, a lot of corporations, studios, and distributors dropping DEI departments, dropping DEI offices, and stripping away DEI initiatives and agendas. They're getting rid of all of it. One by one, it's like a domino effect ever since November the 5th, and we all know why. So you're going to see a lot more of those departments closing within all different corporations after January 20th. Now, to make matters worse, it even got to a point where Greg Peters, the CEO of Netflix, got involved in an intense squabble with the board for even considering these demands laid out by Meghan Markle. Many of the board members believe they can improve Meghan's image by doing some re-edits for the show after she made those requests, while other board members are on Greg Peters' side. However, they are in the minority. The internal studio battles are once again rising and getting even worse at this point. Now, you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of the in-studio drama and issues going on over at the Walt Disney Company, where very few board members woke up and they realized all of the chaos happening at their studio, but the majority are just clueless, they're so out of touch with reality, and they side with anybody that has such a toxic voice that's associated with their projects. In this case, over at Netflix with Meghan Markle, right? So, I think at the end of the day, this series is going to be a trash fire, alright, is the best way to describe it. It's really not going to go anywhere. We all know that it's not going to, alright? We know that the social media likes to dislikes ratio on all different sites out there are a major indicator of what's really going on here. And the fact that they delayed this thing till March 4th when everything was all shot, edited, and ready to go really was another telltale sign that this was a fake move by Meghan Markle. So again, I think at the end of the day as well, this is really creating a lot of problems, not just for Netflix and their image, but it's also creating a lot of problems for their reputation as a business, alright? That's why they're losing subscribers now. They just keep doubling down with Meghan Markle, one project after the other. Look at Polo. Nobody even cared about Polo to the point where they don't even know that it came out. I don't even know that it came out at one point until I started talking about it some weeks ago. And that's how much of a failure it truly was. Nobody really tuned into Polo. It wasn't really getting any word of mouth. It wasn't even being really marketed all that much, quite frankly. But I would like to hear what everyone has to say about this below in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. And I will catch you guys later.